Hi all, good evening. Hope that I'm audible to all. Quickly use your chat box and respond. Hey, come on, like only today and tomorrow you'll be speaking with me like in a live session. So in that also to respond, you have you have become so much of lazy that even to react in chat box you're taking so much of time. Hope that all of you are doing great. Yes, great. So I have put up a polling there saying that how much do you rate yourself on SQL technology out of 10? So that was the question based on the things or the topics which we have covered till date. Based on that is what I have asked. I can see out of 13, it is one student is below 5, and after other than that candidate, yeah, most of them are saying it as above 5. Only one is below 5. That means below average is only one candidate. Above average I can consider most of them. This is what I can conclude by seeing the polling. Okay, so let this be there. I will end up the polling now. Just a minute. Yeah, so as I mentioned in the previous class, we have started with the commands of SQL, subsets of SQL. In that, we have understood about DML and DDL. I hope that is clear. The basic, or I can say simple topics which we can tell. So, and when it is simple, as soon as we understand, as easy we understand, as easy we forget the things also. So, do remember that point. So having that understanding, let us proceed with the other two subsets of SQL. We will understand that also. So I have mentioned it on the previous day. In terms of interview, DDL, DML are important. Without fail, you should know how you create a table, how you insert the values. Both the DML and DDL commands you should know without fail. Syntax especially, alter, update, all that. But when it comes to DCL and TCL, it is very limited question which they ask, but still you should know what is that we do in DCL and TCL. Okay, that is the reason I have taken it on alternative days. So first, let me just quickly share the screen. Tomorrow I'll be discussing few important questions along with the assignment question and also few important interview topics. Without fail, I want everybody to be there. So tomorrow I would be concluding the things. One more topic is there, which is again important. Important in the sense, majorly if the role is for a SQL developer or a database engineer, like that the roles are there, and definitely they'll ask you the questions which we will discuss in one topic tomorrow. If not, if the role is development or the only a testing, so whatever we have covered till date will be more than sufficient to clear the interviews. Okay, so make sure that whatever we are discussing till date and tomorrow, or maybe not tomorrow after finishing this section, if possible I'll share it. If not, day after tomorrow I would post a few documents where interview questions as a separate document, few queries as a separate document, which will help you out to clear the interview. So let it be developer, let it be testing, either of the interviews you should go through that documents which I share it without fail. So say suppose you're going to interview tomorrow, how you revise the technologies like Java or testing, same way you should revise this part also. You cannot just leave it as okay, it's easy only, I'll just revise it 5 minutes before. Like that if you do, I'll write it and give. You will definitely get confused while writing the queries. And once after the interview, you will feel that it was so simple query, I couldn't write it. So why do you want to miss up no opportunity just because of one query? Yes, even though it is 5% of interviews, questions will be based on SQL. When you're applying for full stack developer or testing, that 5% is important. Because I told you, right, there is a new quote saying that data is a new oil. So that important it is. When you are so called to be a full stack developer, full stack tester, 100% you will deal with the data, and you don't know how to deal with the basic data handling mechanism, and they doubt to hire you. So remember that. And I can also tell you there are many people who are working on the data, high-end technologies. The one who handles the data, deal with the data scientists, data science, all this, they are the people who are highest paid. So you can also build up your career in the database only if you are interested. If not, okay, I'm not changing your career field now, I'm just telling you the point. Not initially, maybe after a few days, if you feel that okay, I can manage the data, I feel that comfortable with the data, you can start preparing the interviews on these profiles. After having an experience of 1 or 2 3 years of experience, you can shift your domain to a specific high-end technology. So don't come to this conclusion, okay, now as initially only I can pinch into data science. No, you should have some experience in a basic development, project development team and all, then you'll get an opportunity in that. Okay, so let us proceed. Yeah, in the other two commands which we have is DCL, which is a data control language, right? When we say this control, what is this control? uh, Controlling means you have to give some control. Means if you see, whenever you are sharing some files, now I have shared one recording from my link, drive link, right? So I have shared the link where I have given the permission for view. Hope that everybody understands that. Initially, I think there were 2 or 3 candidates. When they click on that particular link, it was not viewing also, that there was no permission on that. Which means when I was sharing the link, I forgot to give a permission to view that file. Okay. Also, when I have not given a permission, you will never have an access to that. You can see that link, you can click on that link, but what is there in that link, that you will not be able to access. In other words, what is the permission, what are the permission to be given to you, that can be decided in this DCL commands. So basically we have 2 commands here. I mean, grant, revoke. Basically we need to know these two first. So when we know this DCL commands, based on this you can analyze like what are the permissions should be given. And I said you, right, when it comes to the interview perspective, they'll ask you about the commands, what is there in the DCL, but they'll very very less chances of asking the question on this. But you should know why there is a less questions on this, because when you go to the industry, nobody will give you this access of handling the data, giving the permission. No, always admin will have this authority to provide the privileges, that is permissions to the users. So who should be given which type of permission, all that will be set in this DCL, and the control of this DCL commands will be under the control of admin or the owners of a database. That is what you should remember. Okay. Yeah. So where we use this grant, or how we can write a how we can write, maybe I'll just use, yeah, how we can write a command. So as usual, we need to be telling the same command called to be grant. I'll show the example now, kindly observe. Then the general syntax, I'm writing privileges, or like what type of privilege we need to give, and then on which particular data, database, we have to be giving, we call it as object name, the table name, to what type of permission the users maybe have, the general syntax. I'll give the example, then you will get to know which level permission, the role name. This is general syntax, need not worry, but you should know this general syntax. Okay, yeah. So I will go to command line. I hope that all of you know that command line, your Java program, first program, I think you would have written notepad, then executed using the command line. Do you remember that phase where you have executed using the command line? There was a commands to execute Java file name, that is Java C file name to compile with the extension, then Java only file name without extension to run the program. I hope you remember. Yes, there was a black screen to execute that commands. Same way for these, the SQL commands, what we have a separate SQL command line also. Where is that? If you would have observed, when you are opening Oracle database, see, if I scroll down, this folder is there, right? I hope you are using it. If you just scroll down the drop line, you can see that run SQL command line. You will get it in every database when you have downloaded that particular databases. Okay, so Oracle have this. So I'll just run or click on this. So the moment I click on this particular command line, you can observe. Just a minute. Yeah, I hope the screen is visible, right? No issues. Okay, so this is how you will get the command line. All this you can neglect. The for me important is that how we can execute the command. Simply I cannot tell select star from employees, that I cannot do. First I need to establish a connection. There could be a number of databases, different users would be there. Default users will be there, admin will be there. So like that, for which database I need to get connected. First time when you install, and when it is asking for a password and the username, whatever you would have given, that is, you are the one who is using it. Means that information you should know. Now I should communicate to my system saying that you please connect to that particular database. How to tell? We should use a command connection. That is, the command here is CONN. The moment I would tell enter, it will ask for username. What is the username? I'll tell system. What is the password? I'm entering the password. Since it is password, it will not be visible. Okay. You might wonder, ma'am, whatever you entered, I couldn't see that. Yes, I think you may not see that, but I think you can listen to the keypad sound which I have made. And now I would click on enter. I think I have misspelled it. So con system, since it is not visible, erasing and doing it will not be right approach. Now I have given the system a password. It has been entered, but it is not visible there. You can see, even when you type, let it be any password, it will not be visible. Now it is saying yes, it is connected. So for the database which you have created, now you are like a owner. Okay, so now assume that you are an admin, and in your database system user, you are a system user, right? So in this case, what is like, assume that you want to create one more user, or maybe you want to create something called as student as a user. Then what to do? We have to be creating that user here. How to create? There is a command. So I am currently inside this system. Remember, I am inside this system database. Inside the system database, I am telling, please create. What to create? One user. Okay, one user. Oh, what is the name of the user? I'll tell student. User name is student. And password also I should give. Simply I cannot tell password. I should be telling identified by. When you say identified by, it means password is what I have to be giving. What is the password? I'll tell student. After doing this, you should not enter directly. You should conclude that statement. In normally when we are writing the commands, no, that is white screen, the other screen where you go to SQL commands and execute without semicolon, it was working. But here in the SQL command line, mandatory you have to give the semicolon, or else it will simply go to the next line. Okay, now I have given the semicolon. I'll click on enter. It says user is created. Now comes the question, ma'am, then student username, student password, can I use and create a table? That would be a question. Okay, let me just demonstrate that. So whenever we need to connect to any database, one command is mandatory: connection. I'll tell, okay, inside this, to which database I need to connect. I recently have created a student database. Student user. I need to connect to that. Username is what? Student. What is the password? Student. I have given. It is not visible since it is a password. I'll click on enter. Now you can see there's a huge message saying that error. User student lacks create sessions privilege. Log on denied. Okay, so long message, and need not worry. And now you people will be thinking, till now you gave so much of build up, ma'am, that you should create, this you should create, but it is giving error. Why? Why? Because you have a limited permission. Being a system user, you can create your own database, that's it. But if in case you have to create a sub users under you, certain privileges, certain permissions you should provide to that particular user. How to provide that also we need to that is what we have to give it here. So let me just show you that. I'll go back. See, after getting the error message, all the controls under that particular systems, under that particular database, it would have come out. So make sure every time when you get an error message, you reconnect to a database user, that is system. If you are not doing this, still you will get an error. So make sure you reconnect to a particular database. Once you get connected, then that means you are ready to execute a queries. Okay, so then now I have to tell, please give all the permission to a database which I have currently created. See, I have created a user. For that, permission should be given to log in, to create a table, to delete a table, to like that. Some permission should be given. Means I should tell that grant. What is the command? Grant. What to grant? All permission I'm giving. So I'll tell all privileges. Privileges means permissions. To whom? To student. I cannot simply tell enter. Suppose if I enter now, you can see 2. 2 means it went to second line. So you should never tell that. You should put the semicolon in the same line. In the next line also it is permittable. But that is not a right approach. In the same line, you have to tell that. So I'll now tell enter. So after doing that, you can observe it is saying that, oh, permission is granted. Now what you want to do with this particular table, you can still be doing with that. So let me just see whether it is permitted or not. I'll tell, please connect to whom. You know, it should be connecting to student user, student password. Let me see. It is say now it is saying it is connected. Now people will be thinking, ma'am, if I have to explain DCL, all these steps I have to do, all these steps I have to tell. See, hardly what is there. You should tell, if you in case some privileges, the permission should be given, then what is the command you use? This is the command you have to be using it. Definitely, if in case they are asking you DCL, they'll ask you to demonstrate it. You have to show it how to do. If not in the command line, at least in the notepad, they'll ask you, please write it and show what are the commands you use it. So you should tell first we should connect to the current database, that is current user. Then after that, whatever the user we need to create, we can create it. But still, if without giving a permission, we cannot log in, we have to give a permission, or we have to grant all permission. Then only it is possible to do any activity in that user. Suppose now I have logged in into a student. Okay. Once I logged into a student, what is that I can do? Whatever you did in a student data, student login credentials, right? The same thing you can do it here. So I can tell, please create a table. What table? Maybe I'll tell create table. Maybe student table, like this. I'll tell this is a table which I want to create. Inside this, oh shit. Let me reconnect it. Sorry, table student. Inside of this, I want to give a ID, which is of number type. Then I'll also consider one more, maybe it could be name. I would tell this is of varchar 20. I'll close it, semicolon. I'll tell enter. So table is created now. Okay. Ma'am, I just want to view. Same commands, inserting, select, all that you can still do it. It will be visible. Only thing is it is not user friendly. Everything, whatever is viewed here, it will not be aligned. The table will not be properly visible. Like some underscores will be used. All that, it will be like little messed up because the alignment in our screen will be different. Okay, that is a reason. That could be a reason. But internally, it would be created properly in an organized manner only. Same table it is. Okay, I'll show you that. But currently, did you understand how to grant a permission? This is the important statement which I want you people to realize, and why we are using this DCL command to permit or to provide some permissions. Okay. Now, whatever permission I have given, I'm not happy with it. I want to take it back. So we have one more command also. What is that command? So again, to execute it, sometimes you can still execute it by now, but it is already inside a student user, right? So I'll go back to that particular connection of system. It is a good habit, always reconnect it, even though you are in that particular level. You went outside to do some task. Again, when you are back, reconnect it. So that is a good habit because that problem will not be there. Okay. So after reconnecting, now again I have to come to that admin level. Then I should take back that control. How to take that back control? I have a revoke command. What I should revoke? I have to revoke all such permissions, all privileges which I have given to a student. Okay. Now, which I have given, I have to receive back. So I'll tell like this. Revoke succeeded. Now what I'll do? I will try to connect to student. Again, I will tell password student. You can notice it will go back to that first error message which I have got it right. To that error message, I would get the information. So this is how you permit, and this is how you revoke it. Where you will permit all this condition, here only we have to come, because this is direct connect to the OS, and then whatever permission we need to grant it, we will be giving it. The first level for you as admin, that is inside the system only you can go through it. I have few commands to demonstrate. Let me just go to command line. I will share as it is SQL command line, discussion like that in one notepad. I'll copy all that information and paste it. Then whatever I am executing here as a class notes, I will write it, and the other whatever I would share it based on the particular segregation only. I'll share it to you so that when you're going through, it will be easy for you to understand. Okay. Yeah. Now sometimes they'll ask you, please list out all the uses which are currently visible or currently are a user. So you need to write one command to check who are the current user in your system. To check that, there is one command called as select star all the user from where. There is a command called as all users. This command will give you information of all such users which have been created in the system. Let me run. If I run, you can notice. So it is only giving this much. I'll rerun. This is how. So currently in my system, it could be different for different. I have created few. By default, there are a few like this. Many are there. So you need not, ma'am, I did not create this user. You need not create. By default, it would be there. When you are installing user, this Oracle, few default users will be created. Okay. And few I have created, even that is present in this. With the dates, it's visible. Okay. Like this, you can check it out. I'll give the heading when to check this. Suppose I want to order it in a form. This is one way of asking the question. They'll ask you, list out all the users or visible users in your current system. This is the command, all users. See, as simple as that. When they ask all users, you should just select star from all users. And sometimes they ask you to print it in a format in which date they have created. No, in order we have to be creating. If in case you have to create it or print it in an ordering format, we have to use a clause called as order by. Same thing, I'll use it here. Based on what we need to be doing, order by, maybe created, on which dates, based on dates it should be sorted, means we can tell created or user ID or username based on whatever they ask. You can just tell. So based on date, now it has been sorted. Okay. This is one. Same thing in a descending, they might ask. Along with this, they can also ask not the current users. They will also ask sometimes, please list out all the users of Oracle database. Means DBA users. So understand the terms. Current users means like whatever system level users, like this, whatever users you have created, and few child level users which have been created in this system will be visible here, like this. Okay. Under that, when they say Oracle users, then you should remember, you should be telling it as select star from where, from DBA users. DBA, you try to execute in your systems, you'll understand the difference. Okay. In mine, little bit different will be there because I would have been using a different one. See, these are the current databases which are open, means which I can still log in and check. Password is not correctly visible to you because it is encrypted here. If it is easily available and anything, you can do it with that. So that is a reason. So rest of the things, again, you can neglect it. For you, important is that how you can list it out. Okay, you need not deep into that and worry what is happening and all. Only thing is commands are important. If in case almost 99% they'll not ask you, but if in case they ask, then you should know this basic. That's it. One is which are current users. For current users in the system, The first one need to execute for Oracle database users in Oracle, the whole Oracle database. Then we should tell DBA users. The term Oracle database comes, then immediately go with this DBA users. This is one. And whenever you need to order, based on that, you can tell. And also, they'll ask you this way: show the information of current user. Current user is system. Inside the system, what are the information that I want to know? Means I would tell like this. See here, current user, how you can find it out? User is system. I have logged in. When I showed this, like when you try to open this page, I have by default given the password and username of what system. Now I want to see the information of this current system, current user. Okay, then how to do it? Select star from user underscore users. This is a command. Sorry, spelling mistake. If you tell this, the system's information will be visible. See here, only this. User ID is 5. Open. Means I can use, I'm currently using red, so it is visible. Rest of them, it's not required, but you should know this, how to do it. Getting it? Yes. So this is all about, grant and revoke in the DCL, or I mean the DCL we have understood. Same way, few users how to see, all that also we have got it. So now, with respect to DCL, the moment somebody says DCL, immediately you should remember grant and revoke. That's it. So now comes the question. So if permissions are used here, then what is that? I can, maybe one more thing I wanted to show you. So let me just go back. I'll just tell log out. I'll tell login. So let me just rewind it. I'll, instead of student, I mean system, let me tell student. Student. Now currently, on which user I have logged into for a student, right? I created in the command line. I hope you remember, right? So to that I have logged in now. Okay, let me check the current users. The last command which I executed, no, just for a minute, so that the things will be clear. From user, I think you can see here also, user underscore users, like this. I'll tell and run. You can see user ID is different for this. So like this, you can see the current users information like this. Okay, I hope this part is clear. So make sure you will execute all these commands in your system today without fail. At least once if you execute, I know they are easy. I'm not telling it is difficult. It is so simple as that. But if you execute it, you can see, analyze the differences in your system. Few things will be different because I have created multiple tables in my system for for different batches and all. Few where information may vary. There is a reason I'm telling it. Okay. Yeah. So let us move to the next topic. This is all about the DCL, which we have understood, the grant and the revoke. Now coming to the other topic called as TCL. So what is TCL? Any idea what we do in TCL? Just quickly, any commands you have understood or anything like that? I hope I have given the information, one small definition I told, where we use and all. Basically, in your banking application, There also data we will be having, not only in a banking, definitely in every application, data will be there. Correct. So in that case, what will happen is few properties we need to know again to perform some activities in this KCL. So we are not going in detail. Maybe in your advanced Java, when you're creating a project, or maybe in a JDBC, I think there would be a discussion of asset properties, if I'm not wrong. If it is not, then at least have an idea about what is this asset property, because whenever we are doing some transaction, maybe in your project they would have discussed while doing up transactions, some properties we should know, that is asset property especially. So while doing that, there are certain commands in query language. Okay, so what is that? Certain time, maybe a DDL is fine. They are auto committed. What is auto committed? When I say uh, something like this, maybe what are the commands under the DDL? Do you remember the commands under the DDL? Good. Yes, exactly. Delete comes under this one, DDL, Kiran. It is not a delete in the DDL, it will not come, it is truncated. Remember, because a few commands are auto committed, few commands are not auto committed. Okay, so that in your fingertips the command should be there. The moment somebody says DDL, immediately you should tell all that. Okay, so in the DDL, what does this auto committed mean? Let me just go to the Oracle. If you notice here, I have this auto commit here and it is marked already. Whether it is marked or whether it is not marked, what will happen is the commands, when I say create a table, student, and whatever necessary details I'll give, by default internally one command will be executed called as commit. Internally it gets executed. Ma'am, I didn't write this. You didn't write it, but internally it gets executed, because when they have designed this DDL commands, they are set to be auto committed. Okay, suppose if this is not checked, if this is not checked, then whatever we have it under the DML commands like insert, delete, and update, all these commands, like just a minute. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, sorry for that. So where was I? Yeah, so as I mentioned, the DCL commands will be auto committed, right? That means like whatever changes you make will be directly affected to the table. Okay. But when it comes to the TCL commands, this transactional commands, what we have are not always auto committed. It is mandatory that any changes to be made while doing the transaction should be committed. What is the meaning of committed? Commit means the changes you do should reflect to a table. Means you should tell commit. Now, so if suppose assume that the tables or the data, maybe assume a banking application, if the data are not, the transactional commands are not committed, what could be a scenario? There would be a account A. So there would be a account A. There would be a account B. So there is a 30 rupees, 20 rupees in account A. There is a 30 rupees in account B. I would transact 10 rupees to account B. So now when I transact 10 rupees to account B, now imagine 10 rupees is what I'm putting up to this. So what will happen in a current A account, the balance should be 10, and in the account B, the balance should be 40. See, I have taken a simple numbers here. So when you do an addition, see here you do addition of both the accounts. What would be an answer? When you do addition of both the balance, it would be 50 after transaction. If you do addition of both the balance, yes, it should be same. That is 50 and 50. Either of the cases, you do transact from A to B or B to A, let it be anything. The balance after transaction, before transaction should be same. Addition of the balances should be same. That is what the atomicity, asset property says. But along with that, what I wanted to tell is the changes you are making. You said okay, 10 to be transferred to this account. Okay, it is transferred to this account, but what will happen here? It is reflected, but in this particular balance, it will still show 30 only. Will you feel happy in that? Means you are transferring some amount, or maybe you are receiving some amount. Your friend have sent 10,000 to you. So in his or her account, 10,000 is subtracted. Okay, but in your account, it has been not reflected. Do you feel happy? It's okay, no problem. I'm okay with my current balance. So immediately your friend will call, okay, I have transacted and in my bank balance, it has been, already it has been taken, withdrawn. So I think it has reached to you. So will you say, no problem, it has not updated in me. I think banking balance has been updated, it has reached to me, but a bank account, it is not showing. Okay, one day it is not showing, it is fine. Some server issue will be there. 2 days, it is fine. 3 days, it is fine. But it is same with the whole month. Will you feel happy? Any transactions made will not be reflecting your account. Will you feel happy? No. That means there is some problem. The data is not getting affected in your particular table, your account table. So what to do? What to do means there would be a problem of this commit. The transactions when it is taking place, the one who have created that particular table, the transaction commands when he's doing, when it is written, it has not been committed. That is the reason the changes is not getting reflected. Okay, so whenever we write any commands, suppose I have to delete, suppose I have to tell something based on some particular, maybe I'll take a simple statement here. Assume that I would tell delete. Delete is a command of DDL or DML. Quickly. maybe some name. It is DML command. Good. So what I'm trying to write here as a query, I'm telling, suppose this is not auto committed. This has been unchecked. And I'm writing this query. Delete from department where the department name is equals to clerk. Assume that we have a department, maybe 5 departments are there with the name clerk. So all such information will be deleted. I'll get the output as 5 rows, maybe deleted like this. Just an example I'm taking to make you understand. So output will be like this: 5 rows deleted. Okay, because I have the this kind of information as 5 rows in my table. So accordingly, it has been deleted. So when I have to execute this and it is not committed, I would not be getting the particular, even though I get the output in a current scenario, in the session, I'll get the output. But after I close a table and again reopen the database, that clerk information will be still there. Okay, so what I have to be doing, once after this, I should use commit command there, just a commit. For which? For transaction, that is DML commands. Whenever you're using insert, delete, whatever the commands under the DML comes, right? So for all such commands, we have to be using, that is update. For all this, we have to be using commit statement, I mean commit command. Why? Because they are not auto committed. Since in our table, in our database, we have this checkbox where we can easily tell this. If it is clicked, till date, we are not doing explicitly, we are not writing. But sometimes, like the database, if it is unchecked, mandatorily you have to be writing the commit command over there. So now it is fine. Later on, when you're writing a number of commands, when you're going with DML, mandatory, you should write this. In your projects and all, you should be writing it. Why? You will understand when you develop a project. Okay. So this is one case why we should write, to make it commit, to save the data transactions in our table. To make that the necessary changes in the table, we have to commit. Once after committing, this commit command is clear, I guess. But what is the use of a revoke? I mean, sorry, a rollback. We have a rollback command in our TCL. So let me just tell here, rollback. So what does it do? Whatever necessary. So suppose this I have done and I have told commit. If I execute, what would have been the statement? Assume that 10 rows are there. 10 rows are there where 5 details was clerk. Means 5 rows were there based on the clerk. After I execute this statement, how many rows will be present? The final rows will be only 5 with the different names. So 5 rows will be remaining. Correct? Yes or no? Please respond quickly. After I delete 5 records, the remaining will be 5 rows. Okay. Suppose after I execute all that query, I would rewrite this command rollback. When I say rollback and execute, just roll back, nothing else. Means after this, by mistake, I deleted. I want to go back to that particular stage. It's like undo operation. Undo operation. See, in my statement, in my notepad, the moment I write this and I do Control Z, it will go back to the last change which I made. Correct? That operation can be done using the rollback. If I write this command and click on enter, whatever changes, the deletion I did, it will revert back and that 5 rows will be again added. When this rollback will take place in banking application, ma'am, when the amount will come back? Now, if you notice, sometimes when you're doing a transaction, maybe some booking you're doing, some Flipkart application, and you're doing some purchasing, you're purchasing thing, when you book a mobile, assume that you're booking a mobile and you have paid a amount. So immediately you will get a message, okay, so and so amount has been debited. It has been received for this. And suddenly after 2-3 seconds, it will come back and it shows a message. Due to some issue, the amount has been returned. It has been recredited to your bank account. Please check. If it is not redirected, inquire for after 24 hours. Please inquire in your bank account or online or offline. Some message else send it to you. Why? Because that amount whatever has been debited should be credited again back, because there was some problem where that amount should be sent nowhere, because some problem occurred over there, then it has to come back to you only. In that particular situation, this rollback will take place. Is that clear? Yes or no? Yes. So basically, when it comes to DCL, there we give just a permissions. Okay, but when it comes to the TCL, whatever commands already, it is not related to a TCL separate new commands, nothing like that. Already we have a DML commands. So for that, if in case we have to do some necessary changes like updating or going back to the same stage, we use this that is commit and roll back. I hope till here it is clear. Okay, I have a question somewhere. One question was there. Santanu, yeah, Santanu is asking that rollback works for DDL command also. 100% it works. You can check. See, whenever you are doing some change, they are auto committed. See, why this I'm telling here a rollback is that whether you tell, you don't tell, DDL commands are by default committed. I'm saying that by default it has been said execute like that. It is saved, but you want to do some recent changes, undo operation you want to do, then you can still do it by rollback. For DML, mandatorily you should commit. That is the only difference. Rollback you can still do it for both. Okay. This is one point, and we have one more command called as save point. What is the one more command? Save point. What is the use of this save point is? See, suppose I did some activity. Yes, Kiran is saying it is a checkpoints of the steps I have executed, or maybe I am doing some updation. Suppose there is one age. Previously it was 30. Now I have updated. I have updated and set the age to 25. This is one thing which I did. I'm not sure that the person's age is 25, but I have updated. So I want to recheck this. Maybe in upcoming time I would check it. Currently I'm busy. So what I'll do, I'll give the save point here. Save point P1. Some name I have to give. So what will happen? Whatever command, you should write a command to update. I think you know the update command, how to write it. Okay, you have to set the age and all, from which table all that information. I'm not giving it here to only to giving, I'm just giving you a information how to do it. So what I'll do in this particular age, I would have given a information that in my table, whatever current change, current age is there, I have updated to 25. I'm not sure whether it is update, 25 or something else. So what I'll do, I have to come back and check whether it is 25 or not. So what I'll do, I'll give a save point there. Means it is like, pointers. Whenever you are having a doubt, you will mark, right? You will highlight it. Okay, while revising, I got this doubt. Tomorrow in the session, I have to ask this. If you don't mark it, you will forget the things, whether to ask or not, which to ask, you'll forget. Some highlights you will do. Same way here. The save point works like a highlights. Okay. So when you say this save point to that particular point, I mean, whenever you're doing some changes, it will go to that particular point. Suppose if I say save point P1, what will be the output here is, it will just say save point created. So it means it is created. Whatever you do, again, if you want to go to that particular point, you can just tell save point. I mean, you can just call that save point sp1. If you call it, it will go to that particular command execution. Maybe a simple example, if I have to show, then I will share the screenshot of a table creations, means output of a table creations. So I'll execute few queries and show it, send you the output screens so that it will be clear. So here, if I have to create, it will take time. I'll show you the output screens where the table information will be there, so that you will be able to understand how this save point execution can be made. Okay. Yeah, so how you can go back to that, sometimes you can also roll back to the save point also. Means suppose this is one, then save point. See, again, these are the extra information which I'm giving. They'll not ask you in the interview, but you should know. This is employee one updation which I made. Like that I would do for employee two also, where I'll make the age to 27. Two changes I did, and two changes also I am having a doubt, so I have save point that. So once you do the save points, then save point created, like this, you will get a message. After that, suppose I'm not, I got a clarity on this save point two. This here I got a clarity. The age is not 27, it is 30 only. So what I'll do, I'll come back and I'll tell roll back save point P1. Like this, if I say, what will happen after this save point one? After this save point one, whatever changes you made, everything will be removed, and only till here it will remain same. Means I'm saying that you go back to that particular position, and whatever changes I have made after that, please roll back. This is the meaning of that. So that is what, maybe with the output screen, if I send it, then you get a clarity more than this. But at least what are the commands are used for, that idea you have got it. Quick respond, maybe the save point would be light, doubts would be there. That is the reason I told that I'll be sharing the images so that the clarity will be there to you. I'll create a sample table and share the screenshots when I execute this. Quick respond, everybody. Yeah, so as I said, tomorrow will be a last session for SQL. Yeah, see, if it is an offline session, physically you would have seen me, like I would have used the boards, I would have seen you people also in the offline sitting in front of me. But the thing is, like, no, since it is an online session, I could have not seen you people only. So I have this habit, like whenever I take up any session, when I'm concluding, let it be Java, let it be programming, let it be other technologies, or let it be SQL, at the end of the session, when I'm concluding, I would like to take a small screenshot of all the candidates who are present in the sessions. So I request everyone, I don't know till late how you are listening to the lecture, well, whether my voice is audible, please check. Yeah, so whether you are listening in the bathroom, or listening in the kitchen, listening in the bedroom, I don't know whether, what could be a position, that also I don't know. But tomorrow, since I would be concluding the session, I would ask everybody to on the camera so that I can see. So someday, if I meet you people, I should have that, okay, he or she is my student, I have trained them, or at least you should know who I am. So that is the reason, only for tomorrow at the end of this session, I want everybody to on the camera just for 5 minutes so that I'll take a small screenshot of the screen so that I'll have it as a memory. So one batch of students. And I'm not expecting that you should be fully formals and all, nothing like that. At least wear a clothes, that is what I expect. Okay, so some casuals, whatever you feel comfortable, just be there. At the last 5 minutes, let's have small quick interaction. How you felt, what was your throughout your journey of SQL. Yes, it is very limited time, but I hope my what I can give you as a knowledge sharing, I have done it. At the other side, what you're doing, I don't know, but I hope that my words, not for all, I wanted it to for all, but at least for few members, I can say this. They have got a strong, grip on SQL. That is what I can say. That I can prove it to everyone only when you get an opportunity. When you put up a message, whatever has been taught in the session, the same SQL topics were asked in the interview. When you put that, that is when I can get that you know satisfaction. Yes, whatever I have trained somewhere for one or the other students, it has helped. So that is when I can be happy. So sorry, so a few times I couldn't take up this session. As I said, I have a kid of 2 months, and that is the reason few times I have cancelled the session. Few times because of this rain, since I am into a different place now and not in a regular place, that is the reason. So but other than that, from my end, what I have to be giving it to you, I have done. So from your end, what you have to do, make sure you do it on the daily basis. It's only a completion, like I would conclude the session, but doesn't mean that I will not speak to you. I'll still be connected. You all have my numbers. So any doubts, anything you would like to ask, it's about the Java also. If you like to ask a few doubts, feel free to ask. Okay. So I am here to guide you all. Let it be anything you want to share it, do share it. Just be updated with the technology. This is what I can tell. Okay, fine. Then for today I'll conclude. Tomorrow let's all meet. Let's see everybody, like even your friends also would like to see you all. So let's meet tomorrow. Till then, have a great night. Thank you. So do inform your friends also, if they are not attending, at least for last 5 minutes, let them attend so that we can have a quick interactions just for 5 minutes. Inform all your friends. Okay. Yeah. Have a great night. Thank you.